Have you ever wondered why you chose one brand over another? Or why you gravitated towards a specific news article? We like to think we're logical beings, carefully weighing all our options. But the truth is, our brains are constantly taking shortcuts. These shortcuts, while often helpful, can sometimes lead us astray. Imagine you're at a grocery store, faced with a wall of cereal options. Do you meticulously analyze the nutritional content of each box? Probably not. Instead, you might reach for a familiar brand or one with a catchy slogan. This reliance on mental shortcuts is a natural part of how our brains process information. Our brains are incredibly complex organs, constantly bombarded with stimuli. To cope with this information overload, they've evolved to make quick decisions, often based on incomplete information. These shortcuts are generally useful, allowing us to navigate the world efficiently. However, these same shortcuts can sometimes lead to systematic errors in our thinking, known as cognitive biases. These biases are like invisible forces, subtly influencing our perceptions and judgments, often without us even realizing it. Understanding these biases is crucial to making more rational and informed decisions in all aspects of our lives. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into the fascinating world of psychology. Cognitive biases are like mental rules of thumb, ingrained patterns of thinking that allow our brains to process information quickly and efficiently. They are not inherently good or bad, but rather tools that our minds use to navigate the world. In many cases, they serve us well, enabling us to make snap judgments and navigate familiar situations with ease. These biases help us to function in our daily lives without being overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information we encounter. For example, imagine you're walking down a dark street and see a shadowy figure approaching. Your brain might instantly trigger a fear response, prompting you to cross the street or quicken your pace. This quick reaction, based on a cognitive bias that associates darkness with danger, could potentially keep you safe. It's an automatic response that has evolved to protect us from potential threats. This quick reaction, based on a cognitive bias that associates darkness with danger, could potentially keep you safe. However, these same biases can also lead us astray. These same biases can lead to flawed thinking. They can cause us to misinterpret information, make irrational decisions, and cling to beliefs even in the face of contradictory evidence. This is where the downside of cognitive biases becomes apparent. They can cause us to misinterpret information, make irrational decisions, and cling to beliefs even in the face of contradictory evidence. For instance, confirmation bias can lead us to favor information that supports our pre-existing beliefs while ignoring evidence that contradicts them. Think of them like optical illusions. Just as an optical illusion can trick your eyes into seeing something that isn't really there, a cognitive bias can distort your perception of reality. Just as an optical illusion can trick your eyes into seeing something that isn't really there, a cognitive bias can distort your perception of reality. This distortion can lead to errors in judgment and decision-making. These biases are not always obvious or easy to spot. They operate beneath the surface of our conscious awareness, subtly shaping our thoughts and behaviors. This unconscious influence can be pervasive and difficult to counteract. By understanding how these biases work, we can begin to recognize their influence and take steps to mitigate their impact on our decision-making. Awareness is the first step towards minimizing their negative effects and making more rational, informed choices. One of the most pervasive cognitive biases is confirmation bias. This bias subtly influences our daily lives, often without us even realizing it. This bias refers to our tendency to favor information that confirms our existing beliefs while ignoring or downplaying evidence that contradicts them. It's a mental shortcut that can lead us astray. It's like wearing a pair of glasses with colored lenses. Everything you see is filtered through your preconceived notions. These lenses can distort reality, making it difficult to see things as they truly are. Imagine you're passionate about a particular political candidate. Your enthusiasm can cloud your judgment. You're likely to seek out news sources and information that portray your favored candidate in a positive light, while avoiding or dismissing any negative coverage. This selective attention can create a skewed perception of reality. This selective exposure reinforces your existing beliefs, even if they are not entirely accurate or objective. Over time, this can lead to a more polarized and less informed viewpoint. Confirmation bias can have significant consequences. particularly in today's digital age. The sheer volume of information available can be overwhelming. With the vast amount of information available online, it's easier than ever to find evidence that supports our viewpoints, no matter how extreme or unfounded they may be. This can lead to misinformation spreading rapidly. This can lead to the formation of echo chambers, where people are only exposed to information that aligns with their existing worldview, further reinforcing their biases. These echo chambers can isolate us from differing opinions. Recognizing confirmation bias in ourselves is crucial for critical thinking. It requires a conscious effort to step outside our comfort zones. It requires consciously seeking out diverse perspectives, even those that challenge our own views, and being open to the possibility that we might be wrong. By doing so, we can develop a more balanced and nuanced understanding of the world around us. Anchoring bias highlights how our initial exposure to information can have a disproportionate influence on our subsequent judgments and decisions. This cognitive bias can subtly shape our thinking, often without us even realizing it. It's like dropping an anchor in the ocean. Your boat might drift, but it will still be tethered to that initial point. This metaphor illustrates how our minds can remain fixed on the first piece of information we receive, even as we gather more data. Think about negotiating the price of a used car. The initial price suggested by the seller sets a reference point, or anchor, that influences the entire negotiation process. The seller might start by suggesting a high price, anchoring your perception of the car's value. This high anchor makes any subsequent lower offers seem more reasonable, even if they are still higher than the car's actual worth. Even if you negotiate down from that initial price, you're likely to end up paying more than you would have if the seller had started with a lower number. This is because the initial anchor has set a high benchmark in your mind. Anchoring bias can affect a wide range of decisions, from salary negotiations to product purchases. In salary discussions, the first number put on the table can heavily influence the final agreed amount. Advertisers often use anchoring bias to their advantage, highlighting a product's original price before showcasing a discounted sale price. This tactic makes the discount seem more significant and the deal more attractive. This creates the illusion of a great deal, even if the sale price is still relatively high. The original price serves as an anchor, making the sale price appear more appealing by comparison. Being aware of anchoring bias is essential for making sound financial decisions. Recognizing when an anchor is influencing your judgment can help you make more rational choices. When evaluating prices or offers, it's crucial to do your research, compare prices from multiple sources, and not be swayed by arbitrary anchors. Taking the time to gather comprehensive information can prevent you from falling into the anchoring trap. Remember, the first piece of information you encounter might not always be the most accurate or reliable. Always question initial data and seek out additional perspectives to ensure a well-rounded understanding.